So you see now, right? Do you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Clearly, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'll do? Um, okay. So you can now start recording or whatever you like. So this is who I am. So I'm also a mentor of Toronto Region Immigrant Employment Council, and you know that I'm formerly professor and chairman of Department of Philosophy of Canadian University. So uh, mentor means here in Toronto. So I work with immigrant people, newly um, arrived immigrant or laid off or unemployed or people looking for jobs or so those who need my help or those who need employment and skill management. So I work for the government. So this is an organization that is run conducted by the government. Okay. So I also work for them in terms of their employability or marketability. So today, we'll learn these things, our hidden skills. And hidden skills means everyone has some skills, but sometimes we don't know our skill, and we don't know how to sell our skill. So to know our skill and to know how to sell our skill, these are very two important points. Some people don't know their skills, some people know their skills, but they don't know how to sell their skill. You have a product, but if you don't know how to sell it, how to market it, then it's of no value. So you have to know what your skills are. So today we'll understand our hidden skills and different categories of skills. Then you have to identify our transferable skills. Transferable skills means skills that can be transferred from one job to another job. If you change your job or if you change your career, then some skills will go with you, will travel with you. So those are transferable skills. And then we have to build, skills for job development. For job, we have to develop our skill. We have to build our skills, and then we will understand some basic rules, to build an effective resume and prepare the most effective cover letter. Today, I'm not going to cover this cover letter portion. Just we'll try to increase our, job finding capacity and enhance our self confidence. Once you know your skills, once you know how you can build an effective resume that will work for your employability, then your, self confidence will enhance, and that's how you'll feel confident. Oh yes, I can now do it. I can now apply for this because I'm capable of this job. I'm eligible for this job, so I can do it. So this is our goal, okay, for today's workshop. First of all, sometimes we don't know. There are 10 reasons why people don't get their jobs in their field. A lot of people don't get the jobs in their own field. So they struggle or they blame the employer or they blame the system, they blame education. But there are some hidden things that we need to know. So first of all, the first thing is you have to differentiate yourself from others. If you can differentiate yourself from others, if all are of the same questions, same answers, if all of you are on the same boat, you don't make any difference from others, then why shall I hire you? Right? Why shall I hire you? Why will you, um, um, you know, um, screen zoom common? So why shall I hire you? So you need to differentiate yourself, from others. That is very, very important. And second important is a lot of people, change their career or when they, transfer their skill from studentship to, employability or research position or career, then they don't they don't transfer their skills from their past experiences or past jobs to the present one. For example, you are now students. Say you are all students. Now you have some skills. Now you can read well, you can speak well, you can do research well. Now from studentship, when you apply for an academic position in any firm or academic institution or somewhere, then you need to transfer your skill. You have to change your attitude. You have to change your mentality. You have to change your behavior. You have to change your conduct. You are now students, you are free. You can do anything. You can speak about anything you like because you are students now. But once you become a teacher, for example, or you change your career from studentship to any academic positions or in any organization, in that situation, you have to situate yourself, you have to contextualize yourself. This is what a lot of people can't. They can't transfer their past skill to the present one. Or, for example, just example, you are in a job at the moment. Say you are working in a call center, say Grameen Phone or Robbie. So you are working for this organization, just for the sake of argument or example. Now you have some customer service experience. You know how to deal with people. You know how to deal with clients, how to resolve issues or conflicts if arise, and this skill. You are very good at that. But now you are going to um, get a position in your own field. You are an ocean engineer or you are a disaster manager. So you are going to work in Met Office or in a foreign multi corporation or multinational organization. In that scenario or situation, your behavior, your conduct, you have to bring those experiences that you gathered when you were in call center. So your experiences from your call center or from your past jobs should be transferred to the present one. How you can relate them and how you can differentiate the experiences. So which one is required and which is not. That's what you need to know. So you have to identify yourself. And another thing is not showing enough interest and excitement. So you should have the guts. You should have the confidence. Yes, I can do it. Yes, no, I can do it. And but if you are just superficial, very very reluctant in applying or going for job interview, and not doing enough research about the company you are going to apply for, then it doesn't work. You have to be serious. You got to be serious. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So, like if you have this kind of attitude, হচ্ছে হবে করব নি পরে apply আজকে না কালকে করব, like this kind of attitude, it doesn't work. You got to just now. There is nothing called tomorrow. I always say everything is now. If you are serious, apply it now. Go for it now. Okay. And then focusing too much on what they want and too little on what the interviewer is saying. Sometimes interviewer is saying something, but you are replying to another thing. So you are not, focusing on what the interviewer wants. If interviewer wants something, focus on that something. Don't hover around. Okay, don't move around. Not feeling they can win the interview without preparation. Don't go for any job interview without any preparation, be it Viva or a tutorial or job or a marriage interview. Sometimes, we go for marriage interview. So I am saying marriage interview means, as a bride or as a groom, you go to a place and then people judge you, they interview you. Okay, Baba, how long have you been in this university? How long have you been working? Like that one. So what I'm saying is that don't do anything without any preparation or homework. Do some homework before you go for any kind of job interview or any kind of meeting, any kind of meeting. Even if you are going to meet your friends in the restaurant or in the cafeteria, have some homework. Okay, today what you will be discussing, today what you'll be eating, do you have money in your pocket or in your wallet, or who will treat today, my friend or me. Okay, last time he did, so today I will treat. So this kind of thing you should have in your mind before you go for any any step, interview or meeting or class or discussion, teaching or listening, whatever you do, people do have some preparation beforehand. That's my first important advice for you. And then connecting people. Sometimes people cannot connect themselves with the interviewer. So what what do we mean by connection? Connection does not mean physical connection. Connection means emotional connection. So when the interviewer is saying something, examiner, it might be your teacher. Your teacher is also an interviewer. So it can be your teacher, it can be your examiner, it can be your friend. Anyone who is asking you a question is an interviewer. Okay. So you have to connect. So if they say, "Oh, today's weather is so funny," ha 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 ha. What do you say? You sit like that, very tight? No, you also relate yourself to the interviewer. So you say, "Oh yes, sir. Ha 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 ha." So that's called mirroring. Mirror yourself to your interviewer. That means you are connecting. Otherwise, you are not integrated. You are not interested. You have to be interested. You have to show your interest. So this is how we do it. And then asking a question for any kind of job interview or any kind of meeting, you must ask a question. Remember, asking a question is part of the interview. Any kind of, even in our country, in Bangladesh, usually the teachers or interviewers do not ask the candidates or clients to ask them any question. But here in foreign countries, wherever you are, like China, India, or Canada, wherever you go for any kind of interview, at the end of the interview, the interviewer will ask you this question: "Do you have any question for me?" What do you say? "No, thank you, sir." What do you say? If you are asked this question, "Do you have any question for me?" What would you say? I'm asking you. What would you say? Do you have any question for me? So if I ask you this question, what would you say? What would be your answer? Yes, sir, or no, sir? Um, and then last point is this one: lacking humor, warmth, or personality during interviewing process. So sometimes, the interviewer is very humorous. He is so funny or she is so funny. So don't take it otherwise. This is the nature of any job interview or any examination. So you have to have, I don't, in our country, usually students or candidates or clients or customers should not have any humor. But in foreign countries, having a sense of humor is a very important aspect of our behavior, because if you have a good sense of humor, we believe that you will integrate into our organization very, very quickly, and we want that. So having a good sense of humor is very crucial. Now, let us, have our breakdown of our barriers. So we have to break down our barrier. What are the barriers that we face or encounter when we go for a job interview or when we don't get any job? So these are the barriers. To break down those barriers or to remove those barriers, I ask you to tailor your application. Don't send the same application for uh, every kind of job you are applying for, or don't send the same resume to any organization, or to every organization, or uh, or employer. Different employers or organizations have different requirements, so you have to customize your resume. You have to prepare your resume in a way that would fit the principles or philosophy or goals or missions and visions of that particular organization that you are interested in, and demonstrate how your experience applies to the role. So when you see any job or any research, Jalal talks about research. When you do any research, for example, if you do any research, you see how your experience can apply to that research objective. So what is your goal? What is required? So how you can apply. Be warm and personable. Means warm means not physical warmth. We mean heart, inner warmth. Okay. Be qualified means be capable. Customize your resume. One size fits all doesn't work. You have to, you have to cut your coat according to your cloth. So similarly, you have to customize your resume. You have a generic resume. You should have a generic resume. That resume is a long resume that contains all kind of information that you have about your life, about your academic, about your social, personal, everything will be there. But that generic resume is your masterpiece. Now, whenever you find any employability, any announcement or opening, job opening, and you read the job specification and qualification. So when you read that qualification part or specification part, then you have to customize and you have to tailor a particular customized resume by taking information from your masterpiece. That's what I suggest my students. So have your masterpiece that contains everything about your life, academic, social, personal, emotional, everything. But then, when required, you take just that portion of your information which is required for that particular job you are interested in. So don't send a generic resume for every kind of job you are applying to. Next one, be prepared. Be prepared means do homework, do some research, be enthusiastic, ask the right questions. Sometimes the interviewer or examiner may ask you to ask you a question, to ask them a question. They say, do you have any question? Don't say, no, thank you so much. Don't say, okay, or don't keep silent. Say something. But again, there is a question about question. You have to ask the right question. We'll talk about it later. Focus on what you can do for the organization. Yes, who you are, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have done. What matters is what you can do for the organization. Well, this is your organization. This is what I can do. How can you help me? Well, your organization is very well, doing very well. You made 1.5 billion dollars of profit last year, and then you had over 500 clients and customers working actively for your organizations. If I can come to your organization, then I can increase this profitability and then reduce the infrastructure cost, so that the profit margin or the net profit will escalate day by day. This is what I did in the past, and this is what I can do for this organization with this experience. Be enthusiastic like this. Tell them that you can do better. So this is your enthusiasm that you are bringing to this organization. And then at the end of the interview, just don't go home and sit idle and wait for the result or letter or phone call coming from that interviewer. Don't just wait. Send them a thank you letter. Oh, thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful meeting with you. And thank you so much for your time. And I like that one. Don't say, you know, did I pass? Did I get the job? When can I get? Don't say that. Just send a thank you letter. With that, now let's discover, our skills. Skills, there are different types of skills. First of all, we have to categorize our skills. Number one skill is called technical skill or work specific skill. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by technical skill? What do you mean by technical skill? Anyone? You can unmute and answer. Okay. Can anyone tell me what we mean by technical? Yeah.
Technical skill means the skills related to our job, the skills that is mandatorily required to do a particular job, like computer skills, um,
That's correct.
programming.
Yeah. So you are Hazera Akhtar, right? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
Hajira, your answer is absolutely correct. So technical skill does not always mean computer related skill or IT skill. Technical skill means a skill that is required for the job that you are doing. So for example, you are a customer service representative. As a customer service or call center representative, so you have the skill of how to deal with people, how to talk to people over phone, how to use the technology, how to use computer on Word or Microsoft Office, how to type, 45 words per minute, how to print and how to scan and how to fax. So this skill, faxing, printing, typing, taking dictations and sending letters and memos and bills or invoices, preparing and receiving letters and answering to phone calls, making phone calls to customers. This type of skill is related to your job you are doing, and that's called your technical skill. Sometimes we call it hard skill, HARD, hard. Sometimes we say it's a hard skill. Second type of skill is called functional or transferable skill. So could anybody tell me what do you mean by functional skill? What is functional skill?
So these are actually soft skills like my communication capability or organizing capability, networking skills. These are the functional skills, I think.
Absolutely, you are right. You are correct. Oh, you know a lot. Yes. So transferable skills are functional skill. Functional skill because the skill that are required to function for this job that you are doing currently. So these skills are sometimes called soft skill. So we can say hard skill and soft, like hardware and software. So hardware is what you can see, like computer, the keyboard, so this is hardware. So that's related to this this object. Software is what you cannot see but it works. For example, system software, Windows or iOS or Mac or Microsoft Word or Office or whatever, this one. So this is something that you don't see but that works, like horsepower of your car. You can see horsepower of your car, or you can see the engine, battery, blah blah blah. So soft skill is transferable skill, and this skill you cannot see but it is there, and that's the most important skill people have. This is, as you have said, Faisal has said, that your communication skill, definitely. Wherever you go to China or you go to India or Canada or USA, your transferable skill, like your communication skill, goes with you, and your organizing skill, your managing skill, your analyzing skill, problem solving attitude. So these are, transferable skills, and this is what you have to differentiate. So when you work for any job or any company, then what do? You will collect those skills, what I'm capable of. Don't just focus on your hard skill. Try to focus on transferable skill. For hard skill, people or the government or the organization will give you training. But for transferable skill, you have to come with those skills. You have to travel. Wherever you travel, these skills travel with you. So, for example, we came to Canada. So we learned different technology, different telephone system, different computer system. But the communication skill or the organizational skill or the planning skill that I had back home in Bangladesh, I carried forward with me, and I am here with those skills. So this is your transferable skill. That is very important. Last, the third type of skill is called self-management skill. Self-management skill is, initiative, being good, reliable, trustworthy, resourceful, or like this one. So it's self-management skill that everyone, I mean, something that everyone should have. Okay, so like your good conduct, people can trust you. You are, very honest and transparent. So that's your management skill. Next one is, how assess your marketability. Now, with those skills, you have to identify who you are, and now you have to you have to assess your marketability. Are you ready for the job? Can you apply for the job? What do you know about yourself? What do you know about this role or duty? Or what have you done in the past, and what you know now, what you are doing now, and your personality, your character, like you are hardworking or not, whether you are trustworthy, whether you are result oriented or decisive, means you can make correct decisions, you want to bring results, and you can be trusted, and you are hardworking. So these are your personal traits. So your personal traits should be very transparent. How can you help? This is a very common question we face when you go for job interview. Well, how can we help? Okay, so this is who we are. So I saw a movie. The name of the movie is called Museum at Night. So it's a very funny movie, Museum at Night, acted by Robin Williams. In that movie, so everyone was doing the job interview. Everyone was asked a question: how can you help? What can you do for me? Everyone was saying this. But the guy, the main hero or the main character who got that job and who was playing the leading role, so answered this question. He was also asked this question: what can I do for me? He said something funny. He said, when you go away, when you go for vacation, I'll take care of your pet, I'll take care of your cat. And they said, oh yes, that is something new. Okay, because everyone was saying the same thing, but he said something new. So say something new, do something new that others can't. Everyone can do a customer service job. What can you do? So how can you help? Say something new that nobody has said. Okay, what value do you bring? Education related training. So if you have some training somewhere, you also tell them that, well, I have this training, I have this experience, and I have this education, and I have also some volunteer experience which I can bring here. Volunteer experience is very important. Here in Canada, I'm sharing it with you. So when you apply for any job, they ask you if you have any Canadian experience. But as a newcomer, as a new Canadian or immigrant, you should not have Canadian experience, right? If you don't do a job, how can you have Canadian experience? So we don't have. So what can we say? Or what can I do? So we have some organizations, people do volunteer job. So volunteer job means non-pay, and it's like co-op placement or non-pay voluntary job. So we do this voluntary job related to our field or subject, and then we gain some experiences, and these experiences, we use for future employability, for future career. We say, yes, I have this experience. So we don't say whether we are paid for that or not. We just say, I have experience. So have some volunteer experience wherever you are, whether you are in university or in your social club or in your research society, wherever you have, gain some volunteer experience. Okay, this is what you will require in the future. It will be an added value to your character, to your resume. Okay, now I try to give you some uh, common transferable skills. So let's see if we have these skills. These are common. Common means most of us should have these skills. So these are common transferable skills. Number one, motivation. You should have high motivation. What is motivation? What is motivation? Motivation is a drive that leads you to do something, like hunger. When you are hungry, then what do? You are crazy for food. You go to kitchen, you go to market, you buy something. If if you have food in your kitchen, you go to the dining room. If you don't have food in the dining room, you go to the kitchen. If you don't see any food in the kitchen, you check the fridge. No food in the fridge, then you go to market. If you go to market, you need money or credit card. If you see that your credit card is low or money is depleting from your account, you go for job. I need to do a job. If I don't do a job, I don't get money. So this is called craziness. So I say motivation is a kind of craziness. You should be crazy about this. Crazy, not in the negative sense, crazy in the positive sense. Crazy means a drive. So motivation is a kind of drive that leads you, to do something. Good decision making. You should have good decision making skill. You make the right decision, good decision. So think and try to choose the best, you know, um, out of several options. Okay, several choices. Choose the right one. Okay. Leadership skill. Leadership does not mean you have to be a boss, you have to be a manager. Leadership means you can lead anything. If supervisor or manager is not present today on the floor, then you can take up the role. You can lead the group. So that's called leadership skill. And this leadership skill be um, should be gained when you are students. When you are students, you should have some leadership skill. Okay, who can bring me a chalk? Run away. I can go to the office room and bring. So this is what I used to do when I was a student, school student. Then the teacher used to write on the blackboard with a chalk, and then the chalk used to break in the middle, and chalk used to decay. Then what he used to say, can anyone bring me a chalk? So we used to say, oh, some people, they, look at others, what they say. Why look at others? Why wait for others? You do it. Take the initiative. Okay, go ahead. Raise your hand. Run away. Bring a chalk for the teacher. That is called leadership skill. You should have this kind of motivation. You should have this kind of attitude. Intellectual acumen, I don't think that you should have that kind of thing. This is just for the sake of our point. We should have this kind of transfer, but if you don't have that much skill, intellectual acumen, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's okay. Multitasking, that is a very good skill you should have. Multitasking means you are writing something. Okay, you are in the middle of something. In the meantime, someone says something. Don't get angry. Don't get frustrated. Don't get annoyed. Don't say, hey, I'm doing something. Be multitasking. Sometimes when you are working at the desk, say, for example, you are working at the desk, you are typing a letter. And then the boss or supervisor comes to you and says, hey, Hafiza or Nafisa, can you do me a favor? Can you please call, this Mr. Jakir? Jakir did not show up today, so it's very important. Can you show him? What would you say? Sir, I'm busy. I'm typing a letter now, so I'll do it after I finish this one. No, that is not the right attitude. You have to do it now. So that's called multitasking. So in the meantime, you are typing a letter, your boss is talking to you, and also a phone call comes. The phone is ringing, office phone is ringing. Okay, ting, ting, ting. What did you say? Will you get angry? No. You have to be multitasking. That is a test. Here, the world is very competitive. The world is very competitive. You have to find your own positions. You have to stand out to stand up. So to stand out, you have to be different from others. If you are like all others, no, you don't make any difference. Working under pressure, you have to be, very, very, hardworking, and you have to be sensitive. It means, you can work under pressure. The boss is pressurizing you. The work has a lot of pressure. The clients are giving you a hard time. The family has some issues. You don't have good relationship with your parents or with your friends, or you with your brothers or sisters or husbands or wives at home. Lot of pressures from different angles, from different aspects of your life. But that's what life is like. Life is like this. You have to go through this. You have pressure from workplace, from the society with COVID-19 pandemic, from family, like issues with our parents or children, from every. But still, we have to get through. We have to get through. That's what our life is. Okay. And unfortunately, we sometimes fail. We fail to cope with our situation. We sometimes fail to cope with our issues or problems. We all have problems. Everyone has problems. Everyone, even the most powerful man in the world, the position that we call the president of America, he has the most pressing problems, particularly the present president, Donald Trump. He has the most pressing problems, but we have to go through this. Team experience is another experience. You have to work in a team. Like here, you are 34 or 35 people working together. You are working as a team. So if someone has some problem, the other team members will pull you up. Someone is good at English, someone is good at ID, someone is good at organizing. So when we work together, then as a team we have to grow. So team uh, experience is also very important in any organization. Why? Because when you are students, then you are working as a team. When you go to job, you are also working as a team with your co-workers, with your colleagues. So your colleagues, your co-workers are your team members. So if you don't get along with them, you cannot work properly. The productivity will decrease and the boss will not be happy. Your workplace organization will be in a disarray, and then eventually someone has to leave the organization. So working together, is a very important part of your life. As you are working together in a school or colleges or universities with your friends, so you have to grow. You have to develop that kind of skill that you can get along. And here in Canada, particularly in foreign countries, team experience is very important. So they want to know if you have worked before with other people. If you have no work experience working with other people, then they don't hire you because they think that you cannot get along. You have to work with other people. Jalal is a good example. He studies and does research with other people coming from different parts of the world, from different cultural backgrounds and educational attitudes and scenarios. Like he works with Black people, Chinese people, Japanese people, white people, yellow people, Indian brown people. We are brown. So brown people and people with different backgrounds, with different attitudes or different cultures have different types of behaviors. So you have to get along. Organizational skill, now of course you have to be well organized. Creativity, you need to have creativity means you have to be innovative. You have to do something that is attractive. That is something that is attractive, eye catching. Okay, customer service skill. Customer service skill does not mean that you have to work as a customer service representative. Customer service skill, by this skill I mean that you can deal with other people. Okay, so for example, now when you are a teacher, there is a teacher and then students. So students are your clients. Okay, so students are your clients and you are the teacher, the server. So you have to serve the clients. For example, now I'm serving you, so you are my client, so I need to know how I can deal with you. I need to have the skill about how I can deal with your issues. So that's called customer service skill. That means if people around you have issues or problems, then you can deal with them, you can resolve the issues. Communication skill, definitely this should be the number one transferable skill. Communication skill does not mean you have to communicate like others. Communication skill means you should have interpersonal skill. You have to be clear, you are understood clearly, and you can understand others clearly. That's what I mean communication skill. You don't have to speak like Canadians or Americans or British people, but you have to speak like Jalal knows some Chinese, but when he can communicate with Chinese people in Chinese, he doesn't have to speak Chinese like Chinese people. He can communicate with them, they understand him, and he understands them. That's what I mean by communication skill. Supervisory skill, not necessary, but what I mean by supervisory means you can supervise others. And we have this skill. We grow this skill. When we grow up in any family, we actually develop this skill. Next, skills categories. So we actually divide our skills into four categories. Number one is communication skill. Number two is leadership and management, customer service, and office administration. So these are four types of skills that usually we have. So let us um, invent, or let us see how we can identify our own skills. Like I said, sometimes we have some hidden skills, but we are not aware of our hidden skills. So we have to identify our skills. We have to have those skills identified. Okay, so that's what we mean by skills inventory exercise. So let us invent our skills. We have skills, but they are hidden, they are buried. We have to find them out. Okay, so communication skill. Now let's see if we have those skills. By communication skill, we mean this. Who can read this skill? Can anyone list this list? Read, please. Anyone can read communication skill.
Speaking effectively in public,
Mhm,
writing clearly and concisely, presentations in an open forum,
mhm.
facilitating group discussion, providing appropriate feedback, persuading or advocating, reporting technical information to a non-technical,
Next.
interviewing for information, and editing documents.
Now, everyone will get a piece of paper and then write down how many of these are applicable to you. How many of these, list, can you do it? I mean, can you do, or can you have? How many of these? So write it down. So if you, just, so speaking, this is number one, this is number two. So you just write, on a piece of paper, communication skill, and how many of these are applied to you. Everyone. That's called inventory. So we are now, making an inventory of our skill. As we do the inventory in any store, so we are, doing the inventory of our skills. So let's see how many of these skills do apply to you. or to all of us one by one. Everyone will do. This is your workshop. This is your, activity. Okay. If you, okay, so speaking effectively in public. Some people can speak very clearly at home, but when they are asked to speak in public, they mess up. Then they don't feel confident. But you should have this skill to speak in public. Writing clearly and concisely. Can you write clearly and concisely? Facilitating group discussion. When we have a group and you are leading that group, can you facilitate that group? Providing, like Jalal. Jalal is facilitating a group. So he is the founder, president of this research society, and he is facilitating this group. Okay. So he, organizes a speaker and topic and communicates with people and, facilitates with instrument, whatever. Next one is providing appropriate feedback. Okay, so you can provide feedback, bad or good, persuade or advocating. That is a good communication skill. You have to be persuasive. Persuasive means you can persuade people. You can tell people, you can advocate, you can have the skill to convince people. That is a very important thing. It's a kind of marketing skill, but it's a communication or communicating skill. Okay, communication skill is called persuasive skill or convincing skill. Convincing means, you can convince people. If you talk to people, people should be convinced. How? I don't know. You develop this skill. No? Reporting technical information, not important. Interviewing for information. Okay, asking people for information. Asking question, and asking question is an art. You need to know. Say, for example, if you say, can you tell me your present job? Can you tell me about your education? This is a question. But if you ask this question, it seems very rude, unofficial, unusual. What should be the authentic or very polite question? Use please or could. Could you please? Could you please tell me about your present job? That is a question. Or can you tell me your current job? This is also a question. So you know which question is more convincing, appealing, and attractive. Okay, so asking question is an art. Editing documents, not necessary. If you are editing your resume or your research, you are research students. So as research students, you need to edit your document. So you need to edit now. Jalal has got a new opportunity. He is a reviewer of an international journal elsewhere. So he has to edit. So he has to know how to edit a document, a paper, or an article. That means he has to know the grammar, punctuation, and the syntax, and the context, consistency. Okay. These are the aspects to edit any document: consistency, grammar, spelling, structure, okay, context. These are the things. So you as a research student have to have this kind of skill. How can you do that? You develop. How can you develop? Write and read. Write, read, and find out your own mistakes, and then let others read your document. That's how you can develop your editing skill. You write something and let others read it and ask him or her to edit it. Okay, can you please read my document article? I wrote this article. Can you please read my article and find out the mistakes? You cannot by yourself find out the mistakes that you are making. But if you ask someone, your friend or your supervisor, they can find out the mistakes. That's how I learned. And that's how Jalal is learning, I believe. That's how you can develop your editing skill. Done? This one is done. So next one, we are inventing our skills. Second one, leadership skill. Now, the second category of skill, leadership and management skill. Like I said, okay, you have to find out how many of these skills are applicable to you. How many of these do you have? Got it? Okay. Now, could anyone read this, please? Go ahead. Anyone read?
Recruiting and hiring staff, providing direction, coaching, and feedback.
You are Faisal?
Handling.
Who is this?
Yes,
Who
sir.
is speaking now? Who? Faisal.
I'm Faisal, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Faisal. Most of the time, Faisal, you are speaking. What about others? Others are not speaking. I can see that Faisal, you have the best leadership skill. You are taking the initiative. When I'm asking any question, you are taking it. But what about others? Are you there? I want others to take the role. Come up.
Yes, sir. I want
Go
to.
ahead. Please. That's what I want. Okay, go ahead. Don't mind, Faisal. You have done it. Okay. I'm just not giving them some
Yes, sir.
more opportunities so
Yes,
that
sir, I
others can come
understand.
up. Okay. And out of their fear,
Yes, sir.
they can speak. Okay, go ahead.
I'm MD Rahan Sudip. Recruiting and hiring staff, providing direction, coaching and feedback, handling details or coordinating tasks, managing groups, delegating responsibility, teaching or instruction,
Mhm.
counseling or performance improvement, promoting change, managing conflict resolution.
Resolution. Very good. Very good. Okay. So could anyone, I know leadership and management skill means recruiting and hiring a staff. Even if you work in any organization, you might be responsible for hiring people. Okay. So you have to hire a peon, for example. Okay. Or someone stuff. So you should have some skill how to hire someone. Okay. That's called management skill. If you are a boss and one day you will be a boss. When I was a chairman, then I was a boss. Okay. So, and now I'm also a boss because, I'm a director of an organization, big organization. So I do hire people, and my people, those I hire, their salary is $70,000 per year, 70,000 per year. So those type of people I hire. So you know how much skill I have, to what extent I can, prepare myself so that I can hire those people who will get $70,000 salary per year. So you will develop this one. At least, you should develop this skill. Okay. Then providing direction, coaching, and feedback. Yes, providing direction, coaching. You can coach. I think this skill you will develop when you grow up. Grow up means, with education. When you grow up with your education, you'll develop this skill. You can, give direction and coach people. Coach people means, supervise people. Okay. You can give some coaching, means advice. You know, handling details or coordinating tasks. Yes, I think you also know this is called management skill. I am a manager or I have the management skill. If you are asked this question, for example, Rahan, someone asks you this question, hey, Rahan, yes, sir. Do you have any management skill? Then you might be groping for your management skills. So I don't know which one is management skill. Now I'm giving you this list. You write it down. And you can say, yes, sir, I have some management skill. What kind of management skill do you have? You say, sir, I can manage any group. I have the delegating responsibility. I know how to delegate my jobs or responsibilities to my co-workers, and I know how to coordinate with them. Oh yeah, do you know? Yeah, of course, sir. And also I can, teach people. For example, I can, teach people how to use Microsoft Office in, iMac or in Apple computers. Oh, you know how to use Apple? Yes, sir, I can. I know how to use SPSS. I know how to use C+. So if anyone needs any kind of information or any kind of technical assistance, I can provide that technical assistance, sir. I know this one. That's the management skill. That's how you can find your answer. So this is why I'm asking you to invent your skills. So these are skills inventory. Okay. So now write it down. How many of these do apply to you? Everyone, make a list. And then I'll ask you how many of these skills you have written. Okay. Or how many of these skills apply to you? I'll ask you this question. So write it down. I give you 10 or 15 seconds. Teaching or instruction. Teaching does not mean you have to teach in a classroom. Teaching means you can teach your, co-worker how to use this machine, how to use SPSS, how to use Microsoft Word. That is also teaching or giving instruction. Okay. Teaching does not always mean you have to teach, ocean management in a classroom, or disaster management course in a classroom or in a laboratory. Teacher can be of various jobs. You can coach something. You can be a teacher. You can give training. You can be a teacher or trainer. Promoting change. Yes, you know how to promote change. Managing conflict resolution. That is very, very important. The most crucial managerial skill is managing conflict resolution. If there is any conflict, you can resolve the conflict. So managing in a conflict is a very, very good skill. Now you have to, so it's called mediation. So if there is any conflict, you can mediate and you can resolve the issue. Got it? Done? Now, let me ask you, let's see how many of these, apply to you. Ishrat Jahan, are you there? Ishrat Jahan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how many of these skills do apply to you?
Um,
Go ahead. Even one
mm,
applies to you, tell me that yes, sir, only one applies to me. How many of these
two,
do you know?
only two, sir.
Sorry?
Two, sir.
Two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which ones?
Teaching and instruction and managing group.
Right. Okay. How about managing conflict?
Sorry, sir.
How
Hello?
about the last one, managing conflict? Managing conflict. You don't know?
Hello?
If
I
your
can't hear you, sir.
if there is any problem between two groups or between two students, can you not resolve the issue? Can you not talk to them? Hey, not this way, this way, this is the right way. That is also managing conflict. Remember, it looks a big word, managing conflict. Conflict, you face a lot of conflicts every day. at home and work. We all face conflicts.
Sorry, sir, I lost my connection. Can you please tell again?
That's right. We face a lot of conflicts. And you know when there is a conflict, how to resolve it. Okay, next one is office skill or client service skill. Okay, like this. Could anyone read their skills? Clients service skills. Please read. Anyone?
Hello, sir. May I?
Yes.
Okay. So, client service skills. Welcome and greet clients. Passionate for taking care of clients. Willingness to be flexible. Dedication to the company and its mission. Eagerness to learn a new business and work their way up. And
Very good.
can you call? Okay. So then self-motivation and goal orientation, persuasive sales skills, excellent communication skills, leadership ability.
Very good, Sanjana. Good reading. Now, welcome and greet clients. You know, you don't have to work as a customer service representative or as a receptionist to greet and welcome people.
Yes.
Anyone can greet. Today I greeted you. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? You know, are you doing well? You have said, yes, sir. How about you? Are you doing well? I said, that is greeting. But even some people can do that. But you should have this enthusiasm. Yes, sir. How are you doing, sir? I'm doing good. So, greeting people. When you go home, you ask your mom, are you doing well? You ask your dad, daddy, how are you doing today? You ask your brother or sister, or when you meet your friends, you also greet them. How are you doing today? Kemon acho, kemon achish. That is also greeting. But some people even cannot do that properly. But you have to have this skill. Passionate for taking care of clients. Yes, passionate means you are very serious. You are dedicated to providing service to your clients. Who are your clients? Your friends are your clients. People around you are your clients. Your parents are also your clients because when you are at home, you are around, you are surrounded by your people, and these people are your family members. Your family members are your parents or your brothers or sisters, your siblings or your spouses, these are or children. These are your family members, and you know this is what we call client. So client does not mean someone who is working with you or working for you. Client means anyone who is around you. So you have to be very passionate, you know, for taking care of them. So if they have any issue, okay, move forward, be alert, you know, take care of them. Okay, so that's called passionate. Willingness to be flexible. Willingness to be flexible means, you
Yes.
know, this is a skill that is required for any type of job, particularly in foreign countries. They say, you know, I will be available at 10 o'clock. Can you please come at 10 o'clock? If you say, no, 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 I cannot come at 10 o'clock, you know, I have kids to take care of, or I have to take my child to daycare center, or I have to take my child to the school to drop off. You are not flexible. Be enthusiastic, be positive. Say, yes, of course, I can match this time. It fits me, no problem. That's called be flexible. Even you don't have to, but be flexible. Show your attitude that you can do it. That's what we mean by flexibility. Flexibility means you are eligible, you are available. You are available for any schedule they give you. Don't follow uh, your own schedule. Follow, you know, others' schedule. If you are working with your supervisor or professor for doing any research, follow your supervisor's or professor's schedule. That's called flexibility. If the supervisor says, you know, come to my office at 9 o'clock, you go to his office at 9 o'clock. Don't say, I'm sorry, 9 o'clock, you know, I have another appointment, I have something to do. 9 o'clock, I have to eat my breakfast. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. Okay, I know you will not do that. Just giving an example. Dedication to the company, I don't have to explain
Sir,
this. Yeah. Go ahead.
So what if I have an appointment at the same time?
Okay, so if you have an appointment with your doctor, for example, okay, so so that can we please reschedule it? I already had this appointment with my doctor or with another supervisor or with another professor. So could you please reschedule it? Okay, so that is you know reasonable, that you are showing the reason that you already have this one. But be flexible means you can be flexible to do or to reschedule anytime. But this time you already have an appointment, and that is understandable because the professor or supervisor does not know that you are already booked for this. Okay, so definitely the
Yes,
professor
sir.
is reasonable, and the professor will be flexible. He will match with this. Okay. Dedication to the company and its mission. Of course, you have to be dedicated. Dedicated means whatever the company you are working for, be serious and be dedicated to serving the best that you can. Okay. Don't be superficial. Even your salary is low compared to others, or even you are doing a voluntary service, no pay, just voluntary job, but be serious. That's my advice to you. Eagerness to learn a new business and work their way up. How they work, you have to know the company, you have to know new skill. To learn new skill is how you grow. So growing up means learning new skills. So grow up means learn new skill, new things. Self-motivation and goal orientation. Self-motivation means you are motivated by yourself. Nobody pushes you, nobody chases you. Hey, do it, hey, go, hey, wake up. It's time to go to office. Nobody chases you, nobody pushes you. You are pushed by yourself. You are driven by your own drive. That is called self-motivation. Nobody says, hey, wake up, take breakfast, and go to office. It's getting late. Why? You have to wake up in time. You have to do your job in time because you are motivated. Like I said, if you are hungry, then you feel crazy, and that's called motivation. I use the word crazy. Your motivation means you are crazy to do the job required for you. That is called motivation. You are hungry. What do you do when you are hungry? What do? You rush to the kitchen. You rush to the dining room like this. When you go or do any work for your company or organization, be university or be your workplace, be dedicated to serving the best that you can. Persuasive skill, I have already described. You have to be convincing. You have to convince people. So people can be convinced by your word, by your sweet talk, by your mouth. Be nice, be smiley, be positive and confident, and they will be persuaded. Okay. And then leadership ability. Okay, so I give you a few seconds to write down your skill. How many of these skills do apply to you? And then I'll ask you. Okay. Done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me ask Tohid. Tohid, are you there? Do you hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many of these skills do apply to you? How many? This is your workshop. So you tell me how many of these apply to you?
Um,
2, 3.
মানে I see the self motivation and goal oriented. That's
Uh-huh.
one.
Uh-huh.
Leadership ability.
Okay, very good. And how about willingness to be flexible? This applies
No.
to you as well. This applies to everyone. I think you are flexible. I mean, you can be flexible. If I ask you, okay, tomorrow class will be at 8 o'clock in the morning, what will you say? No, sir, tomorrow 8 o'clock, I cannot wake up from bed. I sleep, deeply at 8 o'clock in the morning. Will you say that? Or will you say, oh, yes, okay, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
I am a
you will be willing.
very
You will be willing
yes,
to
a
adjust.
willing and flexible person.
Very good. So it applies to you. You see, you have the skill, but you don't know that you have that skill. You see now, Tawheed, you
Yes, sir.
have this skill, but
But
you don't know that you have this skill. That is called
yes,
hidden
yes,
skill. And today we are inventorying. We are doing the inventory. We are inventorying our skills. So this is called inventory, skill inventory. You see, this is called hidden. First, you said you have two. You said that you have self-motivation and you have leadership. You said only two. But when I said, well, Tawheed, you also have the flexibility skill. You can be flexible. And you said to me, yes, sir, I have this skill too. So you see, this is called a hidden skill. You have this skill, but it is hidden. You are not aware. And then first one, everyone has this skill, welcoming and greeting skill, greeting clients. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing today? You also have this skill. So number one applies to everyone. Tasnim, you are there. Tasnim, can you unmute your microphone?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Welcome, salam. Okay, Tasnim, could you please tell me how many of these skills apply to you?
How many? Okay. 5.
5. Could you please name them?
Sir, I'm extremely sorry, sir.
Why? Why sorry?
Sir, name. Sir, it
Could you
will be.
please name them? Name means, just write, read. Could you please
Okay, sir.
name them means, I said, could you please name them? Name means, name the skills that apply to you, that you have. Like welcome and greet. Number one, this is one name.
Yes, sir.
Welcome and greet. You can
Okay.
say, yes, sir. Welcome and greet like this. Okay, read, please. Go ahead. You speak English very well.
Yes, sir. Can I start, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Welcome and greet clients. Passionate for taking care of clients. Willingness to be flexible.
3.
Dating.
The skills that apply to you. Okay, you tell me those names only. Okay. The skills that apply to you means the skills that you have. Okay, so that's called clients service skills. So the skills that apply to you means the skills that you have or you think you are capable of. You tell me those skills. You said, Tasneem, welcome and greet clients. Number 2, passionate for taking care of clients. Willingness to be flexible. What else? You said 3. What else? Persuasive. Do you have persuasive skill? Can you persuade people? No. Can you lead any group? Maybe we lost her. Okay, so this is, you don't have to worry about it. We are learning, right? We are learning, so we want to know each other. We want to know our skill, and that's how we develop our skill. We have the skill. Remember, Most of you have this skill, but they are hidden. You just need to, find out. You just need to discover. That's called hidden skill. And when you know these skills, you will be confident. You'll be self-confident. You'll be more motivated. Oh yes, I know this. That's what I want. That's what I want. That you should have your, you should have this. You have those skills, but you should be aware of these skills. Last skill is our office administration. I think most of you have this skill. What are these skills? Excellent. Okay, please read. Someone can read. Anyone can read.
Sir, can I read?
Yes, please. Yes.
Office administration skills,
Mhm,
excellent computer skills,
mhm,
Microsoft Office, Internet, email,
mhm,
experience with organizing company events,
mhm,
ability to work independently, take
mhm,
initiative, and thrive in a fast paced environment.
mhm.
Strong organizational and time management skills, critical thinking, and strong problem solving skills.
Wow.
Ability to multitask, be flexible, well mannered, maintaining a high level of accuracy, strict
Mhm.
attention to detail, strong communication and interpersonal skills, previous experience working with highly sensitive and confidential information.
Very good. Very good. Absolutely correct.
Thank you.
So these are office administration skills, and you don't have to work in any office to develop these skills. I think when you are a student, either a research student or just an ordinary student working in any office environment using computers or printers, you develop these skills by default. Okay, you don't have to get training, I believe, to develop these skills. You develop these skills by default when you work in any office environment. For example, you are studying in a library, or you are doing research in a laboratory. So whether you are doing research in a laboratory or experimenting something in a laboratory or studying a book in a library or attending a class in a university or preparing your assignment using computers, you develop these skills, right? Right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you see, so those skills are office administration skill. You all know how to use office, internet, email. So you see, excellent computer skills. You have already developed these skills. How to use the internet, how to use email, how to use Microsoft Office, and also your ability to work independently. When you prepare your assignment when you prepare your assignment, you already develop this skill. You work and you take initiative, and then you thrive in a fast paced environment. Then strong organizational and time management skill. I think people develop this skill by themselves. We don't have to teach them how to develop your management or time management. What we do, we set the alarm on. Okay, if we want to wake up at 10 o'clock, sorry, at 8 o'clock in the morning, then we set the alarm on. So I know how to manage my time, and then I eat breakfast. We all develop. I don't have to explain. And organizational, you will be organized, by yourself, because you know how to make things clear, how to make things organized. So you know this thing. So you'll develop this skill. Critical thinking and a strong problem solving skill. I think, when you are doing high research, then you develop this critical thinking skill. I don't have to teach you how to think critically. Thinking critically means analyzing, synthesizing, summarizing, and giving feedback, and understanding. That's what I mean by critical thinking. So you analyze, synthesize, summarize, understand. That's what I mean by critical thinking. Ability to multitask, be flexible and well-mannered. That is also very important. So that is your office skill. Multitasking means you are typing something, then you have to attend a phone call. Or supervisor says something, you have to respond to him. You have to say yes. Or someone comes in and then you have to say, can I help you? So you have to be multitasking. This world, now it is, like I said, very, very competitive. So we have to become flexible and we have to be multitasking. Then strong communication skill means, people can understand you, you understand them, and you communicate with them. That means, communicate with them means you don't have to communicate in English. You can communicate in a language that is good for you, that is um, common for both client and you. So if someone is Bangla speaking, you speak Bangla, but you speak clearly. No, you speak clearly, it is clear. That means you have to be you have to be utterly clear and vocal, and use sign language. 70% of our communication is based on sign language. We speak how much? Do you know? We speak only 10%. Our vocal word only contains 10%. 70% is sign language, means non-communicative, non-verbal. 70% is non-verbal, and then the rest is sign language. So only 10% we speak. I mean, we use words. So this is called communication skills. So communication skill does not mean you have to speak very good English, okay, to communicate with your people. Communication skill means, you can communicate with people. People understand you, you understand them, and previous work experience. So now I give you a few seconds to, find out your skills. How many of these skills do apply to you? How many of these skills you have or you think you have? So you make the inventory. That's called skill inventory. You can write 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just write 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to write the whole sentence. Now, could anyone tell me? Could anyone tell me? Could anyone tell me how many of these skills apply to you? Anyone?
Sir, may I?
Yes, Emdadul. Yes, very good. Go ahead.
There are 7 skills that I applies. That
very good.
first one,
Okay.
excellent computer skills, MS Office, internet email. Second, ability to work independently, take initiative and thrive in a fast-paced environment. Third, strong organizational and time management skills. That is most important for me.
Yes.
Critical thinking and strong problem-solving skills. Ability to multitask, be flexible, well-mannered. Strong communication and interpersonal skills. That's all.
Very good. You chose the right ones. Very good. You don't have any work experience, so you don't have to have the last one. You don't have to have this one. So very good. But you have communication skill, interpersonal skill, you have multitasking skill, and you have critical thinking skill. You also said you have this skill to work independently, right? That is also very, very, very good. Okay. So with that, let's have a break. So after the break, we'll be back with our resume. So we'll talk about our resume right after the break. Is that okay? Or you don't need
Yes,
any
sir.
break? We need a break, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
think we need a break. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Absolutely okay for me.
Okay. But I believe that you are not getting tired or bored.
No, sir. Not at all.
No, sir. No, sir.
Very good. Because I see some students have left. So I don't know why they left. Maybe it's communication problem, maybe internet problem, maybe electricity problem. All right. So that's what I believe in. So,
Yes, sir.
okay. So let's have 10 minutes. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. And then I need a half an hour at least, after that. Is that okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Inshallah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
inshallah. So we'll be back in 10 minutes.